So guys, wow, big meeting today, big press statement by the president and the IATF. They had a live meeting, but there was not a decision that was given, but it was mainly brainstorming. I think it was really hard to make a decision at that moment for the president, but this meeting was talking about the arrival protocols, which has been an issue and a problem for months now. Because remember, the old protocols last year was that when you arrive in the Philippines, you get tested upon arrival. Well, they changed that in February and made it on to the 6th day, right? 6th day. So wow. So that caused so many problems with the government, with the testing, with the hotels, with the budget of the government, with the non-OFWs financial burden too. You know, it's everyone's problem. And it has been brought to the attention of the president by the Department of Labor and Employment, Secretary Bello. Okay, Secretary Bello told the president about the problems that the OFWs, non-OFWs are facing because of this arrival protocol of a prolonged quarantine hotel. Okay, he said that the resources of OWA is depleting, the financial burden to the travelers, and the psychological problem too. He brought up that only 2.7% of overseas arrivals are positive. Right? Oh, wow. We talked about this in our video, right? That only 2.7, or we rounded up there, 3% are COVID positive from abroad. That's, I mean, you know, like, for example, let's say, this is just an estimate, like 10,000 arrived for the last 3 days. In that 10,000, only 270 were positive. That's, I mean, that's very low, isn't it? So going back, he said that in 2020, it was 2.7%, and with this protocol of 7 days quarantine, it's 1.5%. But he is really lamenting and pleading the president that please can we go back to the old protocol, because OFWs, he's received so many messages from OFWs complaining, and you know, they're suffering. That's the word for it, suffering. So he really wants, he's pleading to the president, to the IATF, that please go back to the old protocols. So the president, no, if we just think about the financial matters, it's easy to just say, yeah, let's go back to the arrival protocols, old protocol, test upon arrival. It would make things easier for every one of us, like everyone coming abroad, government agencies, no? But the president also concerned about the effect of that decision. So he called on lots of doctors. So he called first Dr. Edsel Maurice. Now this Edsel Maurice, he had his slides, he was prepared. He proposed that no testing, but 10 days quarantine. 10 days quarantine at home, at your local government unit, at your final destination. And he's asserting that selective testing lang daw as long as they finish the quarantine. So ang gusto ni Dr. Edsel po, Maurice, yung first doctor na nakausap ng presidente, ay 10 days lang na quarantine and then selective testing. Kung sino lang yung may symptoms, yun lang itetest. Selective testing. Basta kailangan matapos yung 10 days quarantine. At yung 10 days quarantine daw ay sa final destination sa LGU. That's very different from the current protocol, no? That's very interesting recommendation, because I don't think Dr. Edsel Maurice know, but a lot of LGUs, I mean, I'm not gonna say a lot, but there are LGUs that are not imposing the home quarantine anymore. So that's gonna be a challenge if this is actually imposed. 10 days final destination quarantine, selective testing. So hindi na lahat itetest, but yeah. And then I think the president moved on to another doctor, to Dr. Ana Ongling. Now this doctor understand that the arrival protocol has to be reviewed. She recognizes the burden to the OFWs, non-OFWs, to government agencies, but she said that the Philippines should still focus on quarantine because it's the only way to protect the country, to protect the borders. That's what she always say. Now she supports the proposal of the first doctor. 10 days quarantine and testing can be foregone. Okay? She wants 10 days na lang na quarantine, yung testing, selective na lang, hindi na lahat itetest. Yung may symptoms lang, itetest sa 7th day. But she was also thinking na mahal pa din. Kung facility-based quarantine for 10 days is still very expensive even though no test. So she is asking for a cost testing, no? So that's her recommendation. She agrees with the first doctor. 10 days quarantine, selective testing. So hindi lahat itetest. But lahat magka-quarantine ng 10 days. Gusto nyo ba yan? I think hindi nyo gusto yan, guys. And I think that's still expensive. If that's facility-based, it's still expensive. If it's home quarantine, ang problema kasi, hindi naman lahat ng Pilipino may sariling space sa bahay nila. Some Filipinos need to share their room with their other families. Some Filipinos only have one room in their house. So it's not feasible, it's not possible if it's home quarantine. Well, LGUs could provide a facility to quarantine, but the question now again is, do LGUs have the capacity for facility quarantine? But in conclusion, the president is, based on his understanding that he can sense that the medical experts is really concerned about health. They're not concerned about money. Health is their paramount interest. Health is their paramount interest. After 3 doctors were suggesting 10 days quarantine and then forgone testing unless they develop symptoms, I think the president still wasn't convinced. Although the Department of Secretary Bello said, "Oh, President, let's settle with the 9 to 10 days quarantine. For now that we don't have the final decision yet, let's go to this, let's choose this." I don't think that's a good idea. Temporary solution. The president said, "I'm not convinced," and he's not comfortable with that relaxation. So he called on another doctor. I think this doctor the president trusts, Dr. Cynthia Paloma. And this doctor said she also wants to revert to the testing upon arrival. The testing upon the 6th day is also good. She's commending that. But she said, we have to impose quarantine. Because kahit isa lang daw makalusot, anak-anak na yan. Kasi kagaya daw ng nangyari sa Benguet. Which is true naman. So this doctor, Cynthia, said na yung 10 days daw na quarantine, na home quarantine is not achievable. Kasi daw, sinabi pa niya, siya nagsabi nito yung mga Pinoy daw, mahilig makipag-usap sa mga kapamilya, sa mga kapitbahay. Mahirap daw, hindi daw achievable, hindi daw mahirap i-enforce yung home quarantine. Which the president agreed. He said, hindi talaga yan masusunod. Filipinos will not follow home quarantine. He said that maybe, the president said, maybe 4 in 10 only follow. 4 in 10 lang daw yung mag-follow ng home quarantine talaga. At the end, the president said, I cannot compromise the health of the Filipino people, the COVID situation in the country, and he's not ready to make the decision at the moment. So he said, because the effect of his decision could be exponential. See, he could relax the protocol and could create a surge. So the press statement, guys, wala pong desisyon na ginawa ang presidente. This was merely a brainstorming discussion. We appreciate that we were involved in the meeting, no? That the president let us, nadinig doon natin ano yung mga suggestion at naiisip ng mga medical experts na government agencies. So this is very good. But now, the arrival protocols lies on the president. What is his decision? Will he listen to these recommendations of a 10 days quarantine, selective testing, or stay with the 7th day quarantine? But that's a problem with the financial resources, no, with OWA, or go back to the old protocol. What's surprising for me though, is no one really talked about, maybe we can require negative tests prior to travel. Nobody suggested, but yeah. Anyway, that's what's going on, guys. So, this is really a big decision, no? This is big decision, arrival protocol. Hintayin natin kung anong decision ng IATF at ng presidente. That's the only thing we can do right now is wait. So, that's all for this video, guys. There's no decision yet. As of now, it's still the same protocol. But hoping tomorrow, maybe, or this week, there will be a change. So, thank you so much for watching. Let me know, if you were the president, what would you do? Diba? So, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again. Don't forget to like this video. Bye! Ingat po! Bye!